Today we're talking about the top 10 most popular anime on Hulu, and also a few of my recommendations as well. It's the same thing as my Netflix video. If you want to check that out, that will be in the description section below, where it's mostly going by everybody's votes of these series, the top 10 most popular at the moment, and also a few of my recommendations that I've seen there as well. There's so much anime to watch on Hulu that I was blown away when I first went there. Not a sponsor, obviously, but there's a ton of anime there, but you just gotta watch commercials, but I think that it's worth it because it's all free anyways. So starting off with number 10, we have Inuyasha. That has got to be a nostalgia choice right there. I mean, out of all of the other anime on Hulu, we've got Inuyasha at number 10. Gotta be nostalgia. It's nostalgic for me, so I can definitely understand it, but that pacing though, everybody knows Inuyasha. I don't really need to say a whole lot about that. Number 9 is Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Really? Just one spot above Inuyasha? I mean, come on. Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood is another great series. I expected this to be higher up on the Netflix list. I think it was up near the top. It might have been number 1 on my Netflix list. I don't remember, but it is an amazing series, and it is a must-watch for everybody out there. Number 8 is Fairy Tail, and while I enjoyed Fairy Tail, I don't really agree with it being under Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Got a little bit of a discrepancy with that, but there were some great things in Fairy Tail. I've only seen the first season of that, so that's the limit of my knowledge on that series. As far as number 7 goes, Yugioh GX. I've never been a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! Everyone tells me that I should go check it out, but I am past the time of Yu-Gi-Oh! And I remember back when Yu-Gi-Oh! Was popular, I was one of those, no, I'd rather watch Pokemon. No, I'd rather play the Pokemon games and the card games and everything. I was really into Pokemon to the point where I didn't want any other type of card game, and pretty much I wrote off Yu-Gi-Oh!, which I shouldn't have done, but it's too late for me to go and try and watch it now, I think. So moving on to number 6, we have Dragon Ball Z at number 6. I'm surprised that it's not up there at the top of these, but Dragon Ball Z, I love Dragon Ball Z, but one thing that another discrepancy that I have with this is that this does not include the original Dragon Ball series. That's also on Hulu to watch from what I've seen, and it's not on this list. Come on, people, you gotta watch the original Dragon Ball series. Who out there would rate the original Dragon Ball series lower score than Dragon Ball Z? Or maybe it's just by the sheer number of votes, because probably people are rating both of them 100% anyways. But Dragon Ball, you gotta watch that. I don't know who out there has seen Z, but not the original Dragon Ball series, but I enjoy it so much more. And moving on to number 5, we have Yu-Gi-Oh! Again, which is the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Series. I know there are still a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Fans out there, and that is one series that they definitely hold dear to them, so I don't really have too much of a discrepancy with the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Series being there. I never really got into it. I have no plans of watching it, but I know that it is a very popular series and that a lot of people really love it. So moving on to number 4, we have the original Naruto series, which is, of course, excluding Shippuuden, just that original series, and I agree with that because the original Naruto series was really great. Of course, I know a lot of people like that, so I know that it's going to be really high on that list. So many memorable moments, so much nostalgia, even though I only watched this maybe like 3 years ago. I started watching Naruto, and it's still one of my favorites of anime. Moving on to number 3, we've got One Piece, and I know a lot of people out there are gonna go crazy when they hear what number 2 and number 1 are, and personally, I agree with that. I don't think that One Piece should be number 3. I think it should be higher up on the list because it is a very popular series, and I like it more than what's number 2 and number 1, but I shouldn't really have to say a whole lot about One Piece. Definitely give it a chance. You gotta watch it longer than you're gonna want to at the beginning before you really get into it. I forget exactly what episode it is, but you really fall in love with the series around the Arlong Park arc, so you need to keep watching that until that arc is over with, and then evaluate your feelings about the story. Then I know there are some pacing issues before that, but gotta stick with it. It's worth it, trust me. I thought the same thing. I didn't want to watch it at first either, but it's great. So moving on to number 2, and I can feel that hurt already. Number 2 is Bleach. Bleach over One Piece? Are you serious? I love me some Bleach, but the anime had so much filler to it, and then they just cut it off. It doesn't have the current arc of the manga in there, the 1,000-Year Blood War, so you've got this incomplete story that goes on for hundreds of episodes. The Bount arc is like an entire season of filler. And you've got other times where it's probably like 6 or 7, maybe 12 episodes of filler at a time, and you'll have parts where you're getting ready to watch this crazy battle and it'll just jump to a filler for like 6 to 12 or more episodes, and I don't know, there's so many problems with that, and I can't really say that that should best One Piece on this list, so I definitely disagree with its placement on this list. So before we get into number 1, just to build up that anticipation and to build up that suspense for number 1, you probably already know what it is anyways, we're going to get into some of my recommendations of some of the series on Hulu, which was really tough because there's so much anime on Hulu, and there's so many series there that I wanted to list, but then I didn't want to make this video an hour long, so I only listed a few different types. First of all, X 1999, which is a bit of like a shonen series, kind of, with a lot of dark elements. It's animated by Clamp, so it's got this beautiful animation. Some people don't like the animation of Clamp, where it has the very sleek and slender male characters that look very feminine, but personally I think that it's pretty good. I like all different types of animation. Definitely check out X 1999. We also have The Slayers, which is a definite fan favorite here. I don't know why this isn't on the list, because everybody that I know of that's ever seen The Slayers absolutely loves it. It's like this shonen comedy series with this female main character. It's really funny. It's got lots of crazy over-the-top battles against these warlocks and big monsters and things like that. I really love it. It's one of my favorite animes of all time. We also have Phantom, Requiem of Phantom, which is one that I think is really underrated, which is it's like a romance slash drama series, and I think it's like 24 episodes. The first half of this is a definite must-watch, and I know a lot of people out there that are going to love this series and never heard of it before. The second half, in my opinion, takes a downturn because this is actually made after a visual novel which has multiple endings, and they do it in ways to try and represent most of these endings in one ending for the anime, and I felt that it could have been better. We also have Last Exile, which is one of my first favorites of anime. This is an adventure series. It's like a mystery adventure series. It's a beautiful story about these two friends that are pretty much on their own in life. They're doing these jobs where they're taking their ship and they're delivering messages, they're flying around, and then they get caught up in this giant war, and pretty much the world changes as a result of that war. It's a really beautiful story. I really love all of these series here that I mentioned, but there are plenty more that I would love to mention, but I don't want to make the video too long. Moving on to number 1, we have Naruto Shippuden. Naruto Shippuden, I'm not surprised by this. I knew it would either be Shippuden or One Piece as number 1 or number 2. I was mostly surprised by Bleach, but I know a lot of One Piece fans out there will disagree with this choice, but I'm not really surprised with Shippuden being number 1. So anyways, let me know in the comment section below, what do you think of this list? Where do you agree with it? And also, what are some of your favorite anime that you've seen on Hulu? Leave me your comments about that in the comment section below. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, comment, like it, and also share it with your friends. Thank you for watching. I'll see you later.